Alright, how's the audio sound? Not too low, is it? Not too much background noise or anything? Ah, so, new chapter. New month, new chapter. How are y'all doing? No spoilers, of course, as always. Just let me see the chapter at my own pace. Hold on. The background music isn't too overpowering, is it? I can never tell when I put on anything with lyrics. A little static. Alright, well, we'll deal with that. Let's see. Just give a little bit of time for people to pile in. I was a bit slow with putting out the notifications, so I'm just waiting for some people to see it. What do I think is going to be in this chapter? How you doing? I'm doing well. Getting some stuff done, getting some work done on my game. Yeah. Let's see. Alright, so last chapter it was the whole thing with the Dragona. That whole like scenario with the flashback. And we ended up kind of at the same place that we left off the chapter prior, where they were discussing with Meryl. I keep forgetting her full name. They were discussing what they were going to do in order to take advantage of the lava rock, and in this case, Meryl is like, "Hey, we're going to bring the lava rock and put it next to the like deed or the land rights for the what's it called, for like this large swath of land on the mountain that is owned by the Howler Company." So I don't think we're gonna immediately go straight into that for this chapter. I think we're gonna have like a little bit of like downtime as like preparation for it. But yeah, that doesn't mean nothing's gonna happen. Could be some interesting stuff here. What kind of month do you think it will be for Rohan fans? It's always a good month for Rohan fans. Come on, we know this already. Alright, so I think we're probably good to get started. Should I just keep on this? Hold on. Let's go with changing seasons. let's go. The Hawaii State Land Registry. Okay, so we might just be going straight into it then. Alright, and we've got the Ultra Jump cover, which looks pretty much exactly the same as the volume cover. Love you for that, Araki. And then it looks exactly the same in the chapter cover. Or is this like the inside cover for the... No, I think this is the chapter cover, right? Yeah, it has the chapter name on it. So they have Charming Man, and then Dragona, and then on the volume cover, Paco. So no Usagi. Usagi is the only one getting left out. That's pretty funny. And all three of them are in the back in this one. It's so... God, gotta love him. Gotta love it. That's great. That's great. That's so good. Zero conversation. They hate each other. Alright, let's see. We got Paco looking at a magazine or a map. I think a map. He's the one driving. Charming Man just drinking. Don't know what the hell Usagi's doing. I think he's eating a burger or something. Dragona applying makeup. And Jodio just playing on his Switch. Gotta be like, that's like a Switch Lite, right? Jodio's a Switch Lite person? Yeah, he would be. Yeah, it's just... Usagi going at that burger. Charming Man just downing a bottle. Okay, so no, this is like floor plan layout. I'm assuming for the place they're targeting. That old bag's totally crazy, ain't she? Time to get started. Let's go. Ooh. Fancy place. So they're like all nonchalant, but they're getting straight into the heist. There's just like no one here. I wonder if this is based on a real building. It probably is, because Araki has already used real architecture so many times. Let's see. Receptionist, I guess? Lance shake. Ah. Usagi is literally that like one image of the green frog with like the tray all spilled with people looking out down on him. Ah, that's so good. Come on. You sorry, this trip. You brought food with you. It's no big deal, right? So, the first place I need you to go to is the State Land Registry. The ones who will be going are... The ones going will be Dragona, Usagi, and Charming Man. That's interesting that she's basically already, like, essentially, considers Charming Man a part of the group with, like, no suspicion. Then Paco and Jodio will be keeping watch in a car outside and providing logistical support. Okay, next I'll explain about the land. The JoJo land. So you know about plots of land and how they belong to people, right? Hawaiian real estate has deeds like this, documents designating who owns plots of land. I am the owner of the land of this boutique, Eco, so I have this deed. But a deed itself is not proof of one's rights to a property. It's nothing more than a proof of transfer, saying it's okay for you to own that land. But if, for example, someone stole this deed I'm showing you, or it were accidentally destroyed or lost, or someone lit a match and burned it, that wouldn't be a very big deal. That's the type of document these are. That's because deeds have original copies, data stored in the state's land registry kept in storage where it will be safe and sound. Buying and selling land is nothing more than getting permission to transfer those land records from person A to person B. Are you following me so far? Do you get the concept? You get it, right? You're with me? These dumbasses. And that's where we introduce this $20 bill. Try touching it. Pull back and look at this bill from a high-level perspective. It's just a thin piece of paper with ink on it, nothing more. But it's a convention of human society that through the exchange of these mere pieces of paper, that something is transferred from person A to person B. That is the monetary system. The lava rock is reacting to that. Oh. Interesting. So we're taking like the lava rock is essentially interpreting it from a position of, okay, because these people associate it with a certain amount of value, then that means that it has value to it. So it'll attract it in that way. It's going essentially through the minds of whoever possesses it. In the same vein, land was originally the grounds of the gods. It belonged to the earth. It didn't belong to anyone. But ownership is a type of promise that humans created on their own. You are all going to be going to that registry, but you won't be stealing anything this time. Get close to the original copy of the deed and touch the lava rock to it. So then what do you think will happen to that land? Oh, then the land will come back to us. Howler Co. is an infrastructure development company and mainly owns land related to water sources. Interesting logo. It's like a wolf howling. It's pretty funny. Not just that, off-limits land in Hualalai. They also own land here on Oahu as well as Maui and Kauai. Maui and Kauai? I'm not too sure how that's pronounced. All of it. We're going to make all of Howler's land ours. Understand? No half measures. It's been so long since the last Breaking Bad reference. No half measures. We're not leaving them anything. This is a system inextricably linked with human society, you see. We're taking everything they've got. We're taking every last grain of sand. The total value is $50 billion. Damn. I'm not talking about the land data. This is purely about getting close to the original paper copy. By the way, just for caution's sake, no one fully understands this lava rock's powers. This is unpredictable. So even though you're not stealing anything, you need to be absolutely certain that you don't leave behind any evidence that you went to the registry. Be careful. Don't leave any recordings of you on security cameras, nor any fingerprints or DNA. And you don't want to do anything that'll cause any witnesses to remember you either, okay? Well, so much for that. I was gonna throw that away in that trash can over there. Don't worry, I'll clean this floor up so that's spick and span. I'm really sorry. Jeez, I can't believe you. What? I told you I tripped. Those guys didn't give a shit, and besides, there isn't a thing on this earth as unreliable as human eyewitness reports. You think they'll forget about a guy who spilled cup ramen in a public place? Yeah, so anyhow, instead of focusing on a dumb little mishap like that, Pink-chan, what's the plan for getting close to the deed they got stored here? You think there's some kind of archive room? Did you bring a floor plan of the building? This whole lot of doors. How are we gonna sneak in to get the lava rock close to the original? Here. Another driver's license. It's an ID. I've got lots of them. Alright, bring it back from chapter 1. Interesting. Wait. Okay, that's pretty funny. So Charming Man, I'm assuming, just has the ability to like distort what he looks like specifically, or maybe not distort anything. Like, that's very Tsurugi, Paper Moon King in application, but I'm assuming that there's some differences to how it's applied. With the way he was like kind of like fading into the background with the what's it called, with the clouds in his fight. Usagi, this is a state registry. Anybody who wants to can browse the land deeds. So we're just gonna go through the regular process and get permission to look at them. That cute young lady gets the deed originals from back there and brings them to us. So none of this is a crime. But we need to make sure not to leave any trace of us behind. I'm altering Charming Man's ID so he's using a fake identity. Your job is to replace the security cameras with fake videos, Usagi. Okay, so that's what he was originally doing with the Mate Kudasai. It wasn't... He was replacing the videos rather than just like making two copies that kind of distort... making a second copy that kind of distorted so that like... Because in either case, one of them would have been more accurate to what he was, but if he's just replacing it, then that makes more sense. Use the Mate Kudasai to change the videos of us into videos of other people. Oh yeah, I get it. So now we've got to touch the lava rock to the original copy. So that means, what's gonna happen then? How is the land going to come to us? The security in this registry is super strict. Is the actual original paper copy going to come back to the lava rock? Well, what I can say right now is that it'll definitely come to the lava rock. I don't know what form it'll be in, but that land will come. That phrasing kind of gives me like the actual physical land will come to us vibes. Which sounds very dangerous and walleyes adjacent, you know? I don't know. Step right over to the PC number 8. I was asking to browse the paper records. You only have permission to view digital data. Huh? Look, that boy behind me, see him? He's a student. A kid's gotta study history, right? The land ownership records all only existed in paper form from 1980 and earlier. I'm really particular about it being the paper records. I want him to see the genuine historical articles. I heard we should be able to get permission for that here. Interesting. These are all of the original land deeds that you requested to view. In order, they are for land on Kauai. I need to figure out how that's pronounced. It's probably going to come up a lot more. Followed by Oahu, Maui, and the island of Hawaii. There are 48 documents in total. These are the records for the northern slope of Hualalai on the island of Hawaii. Hualalai. These papers, there's 48 of them. These are all ours. I'll handle them. Please don't touch any of them yourselves as you browse them. She's wearing gloves. Hey, this is pretty perfect for us. If she's the one moving the papers around, then we won't leave any fingerprints or DNA on them. Okay, just pretend to look at them. You're the student. Usagi, you should have like been better prepared for this. Should have taken like a notebook or something to look like you're actually taking information down. Okay, and Dragona presumably has the lava rock on hand. Okay, keep on going. I want to see all 48 of them. I can see them, ma'am, so keep it moving. You can pick up the pace, thanks. Alright, don't be rude. Ah! The lava rocket's vibrating. Huh. So is it like too much for it to process? No, it's being drawn to it. Okay. Huh, interesting. I don't think that beforehand it ever said anything about it vibrating, even when it was like close to the watch or something. Interesting. Okay. Yes, we did it. The lava rock moved back there. It sort of vibrated. It reacted. It touched... I touched it to all of the original copies, all $50 billion worth. Not to decide, including Hualalai, right? Yep, it'll definitely be coming to us. Hey, no need for us to run, right? Like we haven't done anything criminal. Nothing beyond a little faking our identities. And the fake cameras. Like how we're gonna get caught for something we did specifically to keep us from getting caught. My stomach's feeling upset, so let's just walk. Might be because of that cup of ramen. Or the hamburger I ate in the car before that. This dude. Okay, so obviously, like, this is gonna be a problem. The fact that they, like, did something to alter the camera and they're different from the eyewitness reports, that's obviously gonna raise some suspicions. I called Paco and Jodio. They're bringing the car over. Oh, no. Okay, what happened? What'd you do, Usagi? Is this just puke or a stand? It could be both. Oh, alright. Hey, quit running. I'm out of breath. Usagi. Something's coming out. It won't stop. I can't breathe. What's wrong, Usagi? What the hell? Doctor. Call a doctor. I can't breathe. Huh? A doctor? Usagi, what's happening to you? Not because of food. The liquid he's throwing up is cloudy. Huh? This isn't how the rock disease is usually drawn. And this isn't the usual effect that we see from the rock disease. This probably isn't the same thing. But it's interesting that it's a similar idea. Okay. What is going on with his skin? Hey, this is an illness. Does Usagi have some chronic illness? Huh? Chronic illness? How long's he been like this? Did Usagi always have a chronic illness, or is it maybe some sort of drug poisoning? Huh? Drug poisoning? I don't know, I've only known Usagi for a few days now. I have no idea about any of that. We should call an ambulance. No, don't. Put that away. Huh? Those are just possibilities. Don't call an ambulance. The report will let them know we were here. Are you kidding me? It's not a chronic illness, then. The way this happened right after we touched the lava rock to the original paper copies. Is it an attack? His breathing stopped. He's not breathing at all now. Over there. They successfully got access to the original copies, it looks like. They sure seem to be taking it easy. Huh. Strange development indeed. Yeah. Alright. Interesting chapter. I didn't expect to get right into it and, like, nearly complete it by this point. But, you know. Pretty, cool way of going about it so far. No Rohan mentioned. Yeah. Is this the first time? In the entire, since his introduction, at least? The brain sounds like Usagi. It's allergies? I don't think that's allergies, Charlie. Alright. Hold on. Let me bring the corkboard up. Give me a sec. Okay, weird. Hold on. Okay, for some reason I'm having trouble with the corkboard, so we'll just go back to this and do it around using this. Let's rip out that. Figure it out for next time. No, wait, yeah, certain mangaka, he was in chapter 1. So it already drew something of Usagi Pepe. That's great. I wish I had the corkboard. I would bring that up. It's on the Discord. All right. Falling down was probably part of the attack. Maybe. I think it's probably just that Usagi is probably clumsy. I think whatever's part of the attack is like the thing that involves the puke and the rock skin stuff. I love like the character building of this, just like this first page right here. It's so good. It's so funny. What a bunch of idiots. I think it's funny that Araki keeps teasing us with potential rock humans. Absolutely. The man knows exactly what he's doing. I didn't watch last week's review, but did you catch on that Howler was a King Crimson reference? I don't know if I did during the stream, but yeah, I'm aware. It's funny that Charming Man's like, she's crazy, but sure, I'll work for her with no questions asked. Charming Man just like slid into this group with like no problem. He got the Paco endorsement and he was just there. The zero conversation thing, you just know by the end of this part they're gonna be all like, they're gonna be dying for each other. Like, these five are gonna be inseparable in some form or another. I'm sure they might turn on each other at some point too. There was some emphasis on Usagi being the most nervous, so maybe the attack is related to stress. I think it's more likely that the attack is something like ingested kind of like Aqua Necklace. Because like Usagi was the only one eating anything. Is it an enemy stand or a side effect of the lava rock? Well, the one currently in possession of the lava rock is Dragona, not Usagi. So if it was because of the lava rock, it would be happening to Dragona, not Usagi. Look closely at Charming Man's fake ID. Where was that? I don't see whatever you're talking about. The name? Is that underneath the portrait? I can't read that. I can't zoom in either. Hold on, maybe try something like this. This. It's a bit janked, but work with me here. It's Obama? Are you sure? It kind of just looks like a bunch of like squiggles. If it's Obama, that's pretty funny. Oh my god, it is Obama. That's crazy. Did Araki like look up a picture of Obama's what's it called? His driver's license or something? How can you guys read this? It got posted on the Discord in like a higher resolution. It's kind of like noisy, but yeah, it says Barack Hussein Obama. Something like that. I can't really tell. Hold on. Try to get this back. There we go. Maybe it isn't a direct attack, but an equivalent exchange indicated by the vibration from the lava rock, with the damage being directed to Usagi by chance. Maybe. I feel like that's a bit of a stretch, though. So does this mean Obama is canon to the SVR verse or not? It means Obama is not only canon, but Dragona is in possession of his driver's license for some reason. Can't be explained. I love how like Dragona just has like a stock of fake IDs. It's great. Might not even be fake IDs, might be just like real IDs. I like how we just got like a massive info dump explaining how money works from Meryl. It's pretty fun. This is very like... It's so... like, obviously it's very early JoJo part, but like, it feels interesting to be going back to that after having spent so long in the final phases of JoJolian, where we were just like focused on our goal. And just like of repeating a lot of information about the equivalent exchange sometimes, but like otherwise just dead focused. The lava rock misunderstood the assignment, pulls the document woman over to them. That's actually, like, that makes me think. Like, obviously it doesn't define a person as wealth, but, like, could the lava rock be possessed by, like, an animal or something? Do you think? Like, if the wildcat size ended up getting their hands on it, would it just, like, transfer everything towards whatever the cat thinks is worth something, essentially? If there was, like, a very rare animal in captivity, and it was kind of like a person places the lava rock near it, would that make the animal come to them? Would it be considered? Or because it's a living, breathing thing, would it just, like, not do anything, essentially? It's vibrating makes me think that it's literally alive. Possibly. I mean, we have silicon-based life forms. It's not out of the question. Are you done reading the chapter I just came? Yeah, we just finished up. We're just talking about some of the stuff that happened in it now. The lava rock ends up being a piece of the dead rock human who had Balacro Man. Very specific, but I would be interested seeing that come back up for some reason. If Howler owns a ton of rocks, it would draw what the company views as valuable. It's the mountain that the lava rock came from, and Charming Man, his brother, disappeared on, right? Like, that's all Hualalai. I believe it is. I think it's all Hualalai. Yeah, like, I think Howler is probably in possession of some equivalent lava rock, you know? Like, I don't think that Jodio's gang is the only one that possesses anything about it. If you consider somebody's life to be valuable, can you bring them back to life with the lava rock if it's not a stand? I think that's a bit too, like, far from the definition of what it considers valuable. Like, it considers value from, like, a monetary standpoint. So it'd be more likely to bring, like, if it was a corpse or something and you wanted them back to life, it would consider the person valuable, but it would consider it as though, like, it was a mass of organs, essentially. That seems I think that's what's most likely. I don't know why, but I enjoyed the first 3 dialogue-less pages. Those are, like, the type of things that just make, like, just... This is, like, the sort of thing that you really don't get in Western comic books. Just, like, pages that exclusively exist to just kind of set the scene, kind of just, like, dwell in the moment. And Araki's really good at this. Like, there's dialogue here, but there's barely any. It's mostly, like, setting location, setting, like, just attitude of individual characters, what they're doing in the time in between, and so on. It's really good. If you've watched any of Studio Ghibli's movies, like, that's a very common thing in there, where it'll just, like, leave you on a scene, no dialogue, no music. This is just, like, where we are, what is going on. It's silent, but there's just, like, an atmosphere to it, right? It gives you, like, it's very good for tone setting. I love Howler's little logo that they got. Yeah, the one with the wolf. The wolf howling. It's cute. Kind of shitty for a logo, but it's cute. Araki used the same art for the Volume 3 cover, the Ultra Jump cover, and even the chapter cover. Yeah, we were discussing that. Like, I love it. Like, I love that he does this kind of thing. I wasn't expecting a third one because the Ultra Jump cover and the Volume cover are already so similar. But it's pretty funny that he did. He made a third illustration that's like nearly exactly the same. Someone on Twitter like pointed out that's kind of similar to like as if Araki is like the photographer in a photo shoot and he's just getting them to do different poses in the same general scene. And I thought that was like really like that's almost definitely how he sees it when he's drawing it out. I think that's like a really cool framing for it. I thought it was a llama. Oh, it doesn't really look like a wolf, but I'm assuming that it's supposed to be one because, you know, howl. Like, howling. I wonder if we'll get more animal stand users or animal themed characters. I find it pretty interesting when we do, but we got Wildcat size so recently that I think it's probably gonna be a while before we get another. Jody isn't beating the pose repeating allegations. At least he stopped doing the hands up pose. Not that I dislike the pose, but like he was relying on it a bit much. God, I love how his like signature pose is just him having his hands up, and then Gappy's was just like him standing there facing forward. Like Johnny's gotta be like, what the hell is wrong with my descendants? No swag. Let's see, what else is there? Don't do anything that'll cause anyone to remember you. So funny. I like the receptionist woman. She's pretty cool. I wonder if this is gonna be like a full fight. Like, how are you gonna fight the illness? But more than likely, it's probably just gonna be like 1 or 2 chapters. Do they have any stands that, like, the closest I think that could probably counter whatever's going on with Usagi is Dragona, like, using smooth operators to, like, move the kind of rock stuff on Usagi's skin away onto the ground, maybe. And then just like maybe also moving the sickness out of his body. But who knows? That's what I see happening next time though. Could you imagine like Dragona does that and it's just like, yeah, I could have cured the rock disease the entire time. Ah, so funny. They really did not prepare at all for this mission. Like, they decided, they just went and they're like, gonna wing it. What's the worst that can happen, right? Alright. I think I don't think I have much else to talk about. Uh, if you, any of you have any questions, now's the time to ask. Otherwise, I'll be heading out. Good chapter this month. I don't think JOJOLands has had a bad chapter so far. Like, there's been like okay chapters and good chapters and really good chapters, but like no bad chapters as far as I can think of. November Rain opening a hole in Usagi's neck for him to breathe. Somehow I feel like that's not something that they should be doing. But who knows, like JoJo bullshit, maybe it'll work. Make a hole in his esophagus, yeah, that'll solve the problem. I love how no one's qualified to be the leader. The closest thing we have to a leader is Paco, and like he's not really much of a leader, to be honest. But you know, Part 9 is essentially what if Part 5 characters actually acted their age. Well, I think Giorno was pretty much the only, like, much younger one. Like, the Rancho was 17, I think, or 18. And Fugo was also around that age, but, like, they definitely, like, didn't act above that. And then Abakio acts nothing like his age. Neither does Bruno, really. But, you know. I think Abakio and Bruno are probably the only real outliers in that group. And Giorno, obviously. Can't wait to get teased by Araki for another 5 years about rock humans. Yeah. He's gonna be stringing that along for a while. I think it's funny. Dragona's trying to be the leader, sort of. Dragona has their own problems, though, that they have to contend with as far as, like, leading the group goes. Because, I love you, Dragona, but at the same time, you're kind of have issues with, like, being stuck up. Especially, like, when they were dealing with the whole Watch situation, and the way Dragona was talking about the woman. Like, Dragona is about as much of a leader as Paco is. Which is why there's not really any, like, strict leader in the group. Also, Dragona relies on Jodio a lot, so... Maybe November Rain can flush out the poison in Usagi. I don't think, because November Rain, like, very specifically rains down from the actual stand. That's why the whole thing is, like, very large and, well, it's rained sideways at some point, right? Like, I found that weird at some point. I think it was at Rohan's place. Yeah, Dragona's trying. But, you know, none of them are really, like, very leader material. Considering how early we got Killer Queen in Part 8, I can't wait for Queen Crimson to show up. Alright, but also consider the fact that the world didn't show up until the last arc of Steel Ball Run. So who knows, it's up in the air how that's gonna work out. I mean, we might even end up getting, like, I don't know, White Snake or Maiden Heaven, like, at the beginning, and then King Crimson at the end. Like, it could go anyway. It might not even be that we get another villain stand, and it was just, like, the case with those two, because Araki really likes them, but, you know. We can't keep holding on to the idea that, like, oh, one chapter away from Gappy or Joshu or Sarugi or Mitsuba's other child or Jobin coming back. Like, I think Araki really wants to establish these characters first, their relationships and all that, before anything involving, you know, previous parts of characters comes up. Like, it was 20 chapters into JoJolian where we got the flashback to Johnny, right? I think it's probably going to be even longer than that for JoJoLands, but who knows. Yeah, we have a lot of King Crimson references in JoJoLands so far, but I don't think that necessarily means anything. There's definitely a stretch, but with how Dragona and Jodio have similarities with Pucci, I wonder if they have a third sibling. I mean, the dad going off and, like, leaving the family, potentially, but like, in that case it would be that they are very young, much younger than Jodio even is, but you know, it's possible, I guess. I don't think it's likely though. Jodio and Dragona's parent situation is so, like, odd. It feels like there should be more to it than that. They have such normal parents, but, like, I don't know, something's weird about it. Can't put my finger on what though. Charming Man's stand name hasn't been revealed in Volume 3. Yeah. What was, I forget if I heard someone else suggest it or if I was the one who thought it. At some point, like, with the Charming Man's whole, like, 3-letter thing, Electric Light Orchestra being their stand name. Like ELO. I think that'd be really cool. Because Electric Light Orchestra really fits their whole ability. Anyway. Alright. I think we're good. Been about an hour. Good chapter. I'll see you all next month.